Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and welcome to New York LaGuardia Airport. So taking flights in the Boeing 737-800s in American colours, on a flight from here in LaGuardia to Charlotte Douglas. I think it's Charlotte Douglas, just double check, and yeah, Charlotte Douglas. Once again, it's premiere, meaning that this is a real-world flight I'm doing, and actually, it's the hopefully, again of course, America, hopefully more cancellations along the day, but we'll go on to that if it ever happens. Again, I don't know, American regional flights sometimes can be a hit and miss, but like I say, today I'm taking flights on 4 legs. This being the first of them, starting off with LaGuardia to Charlotte. My final destination is going to be Lexington, Kentucky. There's a reason I'm going there, and I'll talk about that during the cruise itself. But yes, taking flight to Lexington with American Airlines, one of the 4 main carriers I'm flying in the US as well. So, partnership with America, I wanted, of course, I enjoy aviation, enjoy flying. I try and fly some of the big carriers in this country, so I'm flying with American and Delta today. I'm flying with United Airlines tomorrow, and I'm also flying, well, I actually flew with JetBlue a couple weeks ago, but American Airlines, Delta, and United, the 3 big carriers in the US, which I'm going to tick off the list in this trip. So, American today, American flights to 68, American 628 from LaGuardia to Charlotte. So once again, if you're tuning in now, this is premiere, means it's a real world flight, and I'm flying in the real world as a passenger. You can track this flight on Flight Radar 24. So, jump in the cockpit, set the aircraft up, and prepare ourselves for our departure. Like I say, Lexington is my final destination, and actually it's only a day trip, so I'm actually going to return back to New York this evening, but we'll talk about that once we're in the air. Of course, use the headlights just to get the batteries on, external lights set, ground power on, going to set the 2 IR switches to nav. Sets the pack isolation valves to pack valves to auto, sorry, so we get ventilation in the aeroplane. APU engine stays off, and these will stay on continually. Aircraft need refueling, so leave seat designs off, and everything else looks pretty good. So local lights on, strobes lower, anti-collision lights leave off, and everything else stays off. Perfect. Right, down to the FMS. FNC, and also use the co-pilot side for the ground services. Of course, we are using GSX, and I have figured out ways to get around things rather smooth, so hopefully that'll stay the case for us today. Right, LaGuardia, KLGA, Kilo Lima Golf Alpha. We're at stand, I think this is Bravo 5. I'll double check the charts of that. I'm fairly sure this is Bravo 5 right now. I say charts, I'll have a Navigraph on the other monitor as well. New flight from SimBrief. Okay, American 628. Cool. Next page, grab the iris position from our GPS and stick that into there. LaGuardia to Charlotte, Kilo Charlie Lima Tango. Right, since it's going to take a little while to set itself up on the GSX side of things, we shall request the boarding pretty much straight away. So that will activate everything from the ground services to the pilot's passenger boarding. Make sure all the required exits are open. So that'll be the not this one, sorry. Doors. Whoops. Okay. Thank you, aeroplane. Look like doors. Don't need the rear doors. It's going to pull from the jet bridge, and then of course no air required because American is a jet bridge. Also, I don't think American have air built to the aeroplanes, but it's easy to turn that on for the sake of whenever I fly Ryanair, which is most of the time. Actually, is moving quite easily. Now, obviously, there's not quite a ground surface up for this. If that one's alright, so new, that's spawned inside the airplane itself. So, yeah, GSX can be a bit temperamental at times. Doing that for a second. It's a shame, 'cause again, when it works, it's a really good add-on. There you go. Okay, I think we're moving now. But when it works, it's a great add-on. Problem is just, like I say, very, very temperamental. Though, see, I was going to take a nice screenshot there, but they've just crashed into each other. Okay, that'll do. Right, before I see any more collisions and other depressing things, let's go back into it. Right, so American 628, AAL 628. Get our runway departure and everything set up very shortly. I will turn up some lighting for sake of this flight. We will see sunrise. It's currently what, 5:30 in the morning UK, 5:30 in the morning local time. This is probably about, well, it says 1 o'clock. What time it is local or Zulu? It's 9:35 Zulu, so about 10:35 in the UK at the moment. It's nice early morning stream for the people at home. Thank you very much. That goes off. Increase the floodlights just a tiny little bit. Panel lighting comes up about midway. And same for the overhead panel. Panel lighting comes about midway. Cool. Right, routing. Not too many waypoints for us, quite fortunately. Starting off with Biggie. I'm going to grab the... Good question. Have a quick look at the coordinates for that one. So Biggie is north 04, west 07. 04, 07, that's fine. Right, that one. From Biggie, we fly the Quebec 75 to Golf Victor Echo. Then it's direct to Lima Yankee Hotel. Going to be Lynchburg.
Your crew has boarded.
And then
Passengers
go to the flight plan actually. So departure runway is 13, direct departure route. Charts runway 36 right on the Chesley 5 arrival. Well, it says direct departure route. I've got a feeling that may change. We'll go through that in a bit. Right, so the passengers are now boarding, I think. That's what the lady said. Using the default jet bridge, we actually get seated and walk on this occasion. That's everyone on the landing at the other side. Get PACX opened and start with the boarding. So, Guardia to Charlotte, American 628, 36,000 cruise, 1 hour and 30 on the clock. Departure approximately, at the time now, 37, so 22 minutes. 738, 105 passenger on board. Aircraft has Wi-Fi. I don't think American obviously that contains no 73s. American 737-800. I know may flight this evening with Delta, certainly will. And yeah, no fancy entertainment on this airplane, that's fine. So, next page. American boarding stuff. I've got some from previous American streams. American Airlines, I don't have any Delta boarding music. I'm pretty sure I've got both the safety briefings. Both airlines we're checking out now. So American Airlines is there, and Delta Airlines is there. Cool, right, it's perfect. So American Airlines set. Crew, snack service, yes. Meal service, not on the short flights like this one. Customers not required. Flight number does not continue. And passenger starts the boarding. Perfect. Right. Back to flight plan. Head over to departures. Now this is runway 13. And listen to the ATIS information. So it's going to be a ATIS for Kilo Lima Golf Alpha.
Winds 180 at 8 knots, gusting to 15 knots, visibility 10 miles, temperature 30 degrees Celsius, dew point 20 degrees Celsius, altimeter 30.08, view. Clouds at 3,000 feet, scattered clouds at 4,700 feet, scattered clouds at 25,000 feet. Winds 180 at 8 knots.
Weather for the departure out today. A little bit cloudy, certainly. QNH of altimeter, not QNH, altimeter 3008. Initial climb, we'll grab that off the charts in a bit. If I have a look at the departure charts out of Guardia. Alright, so anything that suits us. Could do a Goldman. Back on screen. So it could do a Goldman, which brings us out to the south. I've got a feeling it's more of a northern departure we need out of this one today. So it could do a Utes. Well, the Guardia 7 departure, that's pretty standard, I guess. Nathan's no. Tim's no. Cool. So, traditionally. Utes, I said, Utes, Fedori. Look at the real life flight plan departure. This is a real life trip. You can see they do depart out to the north. I've got a feeling that. How far north does it go? I don't think I go that far, does it? Yeah, not that far. Well, Utes is departure, and then if we skip tennis, that should allow us to make an answer. Okay, we'll do that. Just flight plan as required. So departure runway 13. Okay. Tennis departure. Next page. Get rid of tennis. Invalid delete. Okay, can't delete that. If not, then What I might then do is just copy Biggie and replace it outright. Perfect. Cool. Okay, so I get myself out of the mind of the Phoenix, back into the L73. Departure, use left hand turn to Biggie to confirm that's on the plan mode. Zoom in. That doesn't work. No, it does not. If I zoom out slightly. We didn't have the waypoint. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else in the area that we could possibly use. So depart out of the Guardia. So it's going to be, well, so trying to recreate that essentially. So use departure, left hand turn, anything kind of inland where that water park is. There's potentially Lund. Kind of opposite, yeah, opposite where the island sticks out. Right, try Lund after that. Actually, departure was absolutely fine. Index, departure. Okay, just to get in manually. So, Utes, Lund, and then Biggie. Yeah, that looks alright.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your
Out of Lund, is there anything else I could probably throw in just to widen out the curve? Let's have a look at Jorba.
Unless you're in a front row, please place all of your items in the overhead bins. If you have any trouble finding a location for your carry-on items, please let a flight attendant know and we would be happy to assist you. If the overhead bin is full after you put your carry-on in,
yeah, I'm happy with that. May not be exactly the same departure, but at least as soon as we leave the Guardia, left hand curve and go all the way around, left hand curve and go all the way around. It won't be exactly the same, but that will do me fine. Right, so that's all good. I'm actually going to do the same time is also get the PMDG aircraft loaded as required. So fuel requirements say in kilos, should be in pounds, but for the sake of just me keeping some standard, fuel requirements is 7221. Turn and payload. 20 class passengers, 155. And cargo on board is 3.9, so 1.5 plus 4, 0.45. 1 point, no, is that correct maths? No, actually it is. Okay, so 1.5, 1,500 plus 450, 1950, and 1950. Of course, that's our payload set, about 84% full. That does me fine. Back to main menu, FMC, secure legs page, which is active, back to the doors, and close that as required. Right, so that's our flight plan now plugged in. Its reference, zero fuel weight today is 57.8. Reserves on board are 1.6. American Airlines Cost Index. Uh, 35. And then cruising winds, grab that from our wind information. Just over here. Wind information is topic line 360 147 at 18. Cruising altitude first due. Okay, 360 147 at 18. Yes, it does. Cool. Right, execute that. M1 limits go for a medium D rate, max climb performance. That's 5 for departure. Center gravity all set. 5.5 trim required. With correction of V1 137, rotate 138, and V2 147. 5.58 trim sets. So just a reminder, if you're tuning into the stream now, this is a real-life flight. I'm boarding as a passenger, very short sleep to Charlotte. And this is the first leg of 4 that we're making today. Right, so what are we doing now at the moment? Ground services. We're sitting here for a reason. The reason is what? Open exit 3. Oh boy, there's no messes around again, isn't it? Okay, passenger release boarding. Exit 3, which one have I not set? So that's going to be without checks. This one. Right, open custom door without checks. It's going to mess up the GSX now, fortunately, because it doesn't know what to do anymore. Because it's an, okay. Try to do perhaps Shift E3. Is that a command that's in existence? If not, I may lose the tugs. Okay, back and press 50%. Okay, right, it's doing something. I think. Let's see, he's done the rear cargo. Front. Yeah, once I get through open, that's really annoying. If I reset it now, I'll lose it for the arrival as well, which I don't really want to do. Okay, there is a plan B, and that is just to use slew mode to eventually escape the baggage handlers. This is such a tedious add-on. Does that have any options for doors? It accepts that. No. Cool. Okay. Right. Let me finish with all the aircraft boarding process, and we'll use slew mode to escape the wrath of the ground service. Done our takeoff requirements. That's all done. Passengers should now pretty much be boarded while our flight phase completes. Close the rear cargo since that's all done. Close the forward door since passengers are boarded. The cargo hatch will figure out in just a few seconds. Right, grab our auto intercom, which that's also configured for our departure today. So it's stand, was it Bravo 5 was it? Stop checking on the charts. Guardia, taxi charts, gate charts. Corrections Bravo. They change slightly. Okay, stand 30 will do. Stand 30, which is here. Push back on to 6. 6 taxi up to cut across Juliet to Bravo. So 6 Juliet Bravo. And then that takes us to the end of Papa, holding Papa. That's runway 13. Right, SID. We programmed the SID, didn't we? Changed it. We have programmed one. That's going to be the Tinnis 6. Transition altitude standard for US is 18,000 feet. Right, that's configured. Let's see if I can now try and get rid of those ground services. So, got to be very careful they don't disturb PACX.
Gentlemen, and welcome aboard flight 6 with service to.
That's just still boarding.
1 hour and
Welcome to
30 minutes.
GSX.
Now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are
right.
in airplane mode and
Still
your
waiting for that.
devices are now shut down
Okay,
and stowed.
that's really
Please fasten
annoying.
your seatbelt and make sure that
I promise if I reset position directly through GSX, I'm going to jet bridge back to passenger not floating anymore. If I reset position with GSX, that will kill Kutul, force it to brake. So if I reset position, try GSX again. Oh look, Kutal's cruising engine hasn't started. I check the base. It's right here. No matter how many times I restart it, GSX and Kutul is now dead. Sigh. Unfortunately, it means also we lose it for the arrival, so I'm going to restart it, I guess. Refresh it. GSX reload. Hasn't started. Cool. Right, GSX dead. Nothing I can do about that now. Cool. Apart from that, everything's pretty good. Your damn put on. That's all fine. Everything's fine. Set the altitude to 30,000 feet. yeah, as far as I'm concerned, passengers aboard now in pre-flight. I'm ready to start the engines. So left fuel pumps on, APU we can start. See, every day's a learning experience with GSX, it really is. That's how much it pains you. Right, AP starting, that's looking good. Security passengers, and let's prepare ourselves for departure. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're just American Flight 628 from Guardia to Charlotte. Flight time today is approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes. Just to fly safe for any aircraft and show if you'll be airborne in the next 10 minutes or so. Thank you for using American. We know you have a lot of choice out here when choosing flights in the US, and so we thank you for choosing us. Hope to sit back and enjoy your flight today. A quick update on the weather right now on arrival. Charts report seeing temperatures of around 32 centigrades. Clear skies all around. Should be a pretty good day on arrival. Once again, thank you for using American. We hope you sit back and enjoy flights. Of course, I'm going to go back to the cabin very shortly. Let's figure out what it's saying. Notice that really, very faint American accent put onto that message there. Right, so we'll pre-plan Toolbar Pushback since that's going to be our saviour getting out gate today. APU set, APU leads on, phone light can come off, and we can now prepare ourselves for departure. So we'll set the anti-collision lights to on, so ground cruise out ready for engine start up. Now it's on Unicom that we're going to start pushing back. Make sure our altitude is set over here, so 30,560 on the altitude. And our V2 speed into the IS Mach indicator. So 36 set, and that needs to be 147. Perfect. And yeah, as far as I'm concerned, we're good to go. So, fuel pumps on. There's no fuel in the centre tank, so we'll leave that off. Toolbar pushback. Pre-planned pushback. Set ourselves a route. Tight out here, but shouldn't be too bad for us. There we go, fix on the taxiway. Enter that, press pushback, and hopefully it's all going from there. No tug. Must be a tug. There is a tug. Oh no, no tug. Oh well. It's all going wrong for us this morning. Oh well. Right, so we're on EP now, so over to ground service last time. Menu. FS actions, ground service. Move chock, switch internal disconnect ground power unit. And we are good to go. Hold the brakes. Park brake released. And push back we can release. Right, let's do it, shall we? I've got that seatbelts and signs as well. Sorry about that. Thank you, ground crew, cabin crew. Packs off. And engine to start.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen for an
That's what I'm
important
shorting
safety
into. Wait for that
demonstration.
to
Thank you
increase.
for flying with us.
Hello everyone, thank you for your attention. It's time to get you ready for takeoff. We know you
The
have
engine
lots
to
of
about
choices,
22%.
so thanks for choosing American.
Start fuel flow for
We're
engine
happy
number
to
2.
be your airline. Now if you'll just follow along with me, we'll be on our way. Welcome aboard. Before we depart, here are some important safety instructions.
So far
First
so
things
good.
first, let's
Engine
buckle
2
those
looking
belts.
good.
Insert the metal
Focus
end
switch
into the
resets.
buckle and pull the strap to tighten. To
Engine
open,
1
simply
start.
lift on the top of the buckle.
Fly in my face.
And remember, seatbelts should be fastened whenever
Park
you're
brake
seated,
switch
just
resets.
in case of unexpected turbulence. To get us on our way,
And
make sure your
inspect.
seat is up All electronic
There's
devices
the tag I
are put
forgot.
away and your tray table is stowed.
Engine 1,
If you
fuel
have a
flow
carry-on,
start. Let's just get
push it
out of
all the way
there.
under the
There
seat in
you.
front of you. If it won't fit, place it in the overhead bin. If you have a handheld device, please switch it to airplane mode now. You'll find our full electronic device policy in the back of your American Way. U.S. law prohibits smoking, including electronic cigarettes, at any time. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying smoke detectors in the
Oh, so far
laboratories
so
may
good.
result in a fine. U.S. law requires all to comply with lighted and posted signs and crew member instructions. Now let's review the safety card. Please
Switch
pay
resets.
close
Thank you very much.
attention,
Good
and
engine
before you
start.
know it, we'll be off.
Switch generators over to the engines. APU'd off. PACX to
All
auto.
exits on this airplane are
APU
clearly
off.
marked. Take a moment to locate
Sets
the nearest one.
the
Keep
pro
in
heats to
mind,
on.
it may be behind you.
Hydraulics switches to on. And window heats also can turn it on as well.
All
Right,
exits have
we
evacuation
are
slides
good
to
to
use
go.
in an emergency. When directed to exit, jump
Quick controls
onto
check.
the slide and move away from the airplane.
Elevator's good. Aileron's good. Rudder good.
Some slides may also be used as a raft,
Spoiler's
except
good.
those over the wings. You'll
That's
find
engine.
the exact location on your safety card.
Flaps 5. Get rid of that fly
This
soon.
aircraft is designed with escape lighting on or near
This
the
is
floor.
the parking
A sign will
brakes.
indicate you have reached your exit.
Check take brakes set. Auto throttle armed.
In the
LNAV,
event of an
VNAV
evacuation,
armed.
escape path lighting
Taxi
will
lights
appear.
set.
Follow the lights until
Quick
you've
announcement on
reached
your
your
comm are
exit.
taxi
Leave all
routes.
carry-ons behind. Just head
Let's get out of it,
quickly
shall
and
we?
safely to the nearest exit, and don't forget, it may be behind
Meant to
you.
config warning, so we are good to go.
Now,
Yeah, so using a freeware scenery for the Guardia. I forgot not to. In the daytime, it's really good. In the night time,
the yellow
big
cup
bright
is
flashy
over your
windows.
mouth like so.
But it's not a bad
Slip
one.
the
It
band
really ain't a bad
over your
one.
head to secure the mask to your face. Band
So this
adjusts
is a nice short
automatically.
taxi to runway.
Normal breathing will start the flow of oxygen. And remember to always put your own mask on first before helping others. Life vests are located either under or next to your seat. To remove the vest, pull the tab or compartment handle to break the
Left
seal.
on
For
to
help locating them,
Bravo.
see your safety card. Remove the vest
Bravo
from the
crosses
package
across
like
to
this.
Papa.
Put the vest over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist. Attach the buckle. And
Yeah, I'm quite excited for that LaGuardia in real life. You know, I've already flown it at this point in time to Boston. Of course, now flying American Airlines. Last one was JetBlue and Embraer. We're flying into JFK tonight, so flying into the main airport. Of course, flew into there with the Lufthansa was on 747, which was probably, again, haven't been there yet, a really good experience. So there's a lot for me to be excited for.
Crew will now be coming
Scheduled
around
arrival time, local
to
time,
find
is
the
going to be
After takeoff,
around
we'll be back with more information. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to ask.
6 to 7, but about 7:30 in the morning-ish. Have an hour and 20 connection at Charlotte. And from there, should be a pretty simple experience out to, well, hopefully there's to Lexington. Do need to do in Lexington and get back to the airport where I'm going to fly a Delta Airlines Boeing 717 and Delta Airlines Boeing 757 back to JFK. I'm hoping to do premieres both of those as well. There's a little twist I'd like to make, so that will, again, talk about that
If you
later on
require
in the
additional
flights.
lighting, there is a reading light on the panel above you.
Cool, so right hand turn. Hard shot the runway. Let's press out to departure, shall we now? Right, so over to Unicom. Announce up and takeoff. Just double check the IVAO whereby there's no traffic inbound, which there is not.
Cabin is secure, ready for departure.
Thank you, cabin crew. Transponder sets. Phone lights on. Tunnel lights sets. And that looks good to me. Right. Cabin crew, please take your seat for departure. Into the runway. Let's get out of it. Throttles away. It's quite a steady climb, this is it. For some reason I can't even steady airplane on the ground anymore. There we go, that's what I was looking for. This was just like, nope, Don't turn for you anymore. Struggle all you want. There we go. So AMD to get more of a focus of the routing. Crosswalls 40, 1-2 stable, start the clock, and N1 sets. Airspeed live. 80 knots. V1 rotates.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. So Guardia. Until next time. Let's say, might like seeing MSFS. Always been a beauty. So make the left hand turn by hand, so we can tell the departure out. Keep the aircraft steady, flaps 1, reset brakes, gear locked. Sun slowly out on the horizon there. Flaps up. Nice and safe for the flight departure path. As soon as the aircraft levels off, back over to the pilot and let the aircraft take it from there. Continue to climb to cruise. Once you hit cruise, start the approach configuration of the aircraft. And then we're actually ready to go. So you can see the flight plan, well, departure now leveling off slightly. There is a fan tank up very shortly, past 5,000 now. Therefore, also quite active. Why hack the airplane now take full charge of the rest of the climb out. Like so. Move the Guardia to the left hand side again. Now passing through some of the lower altitude cloud levels we're looking at. Also, it's a bit of a rain streak as well, potentially a bit of water or moisture coming on the aeroplane there. Again, the effects on the PMDG are fantastic. Do absolutely adore this aeroplane. Still one of my favourite releases on the Super so far. The entire 737 family, of course, has been great, but certainly not as good as the 738, which is the one airplane we've all been waiting for. As for the premieres, I've still got to do both 747 long hauls at this point, and I'm running out of time to record them, I must admit. The other one I'm also going to have to consider is all the X-plane videos as well, because I've got... So the plan is, right, let's get to 10,000 feet, finish off our departure configuration, and then I'll go through the kind of the plans for what I've done so far, and what's also coming up, especially with today's flights. 9,000. And don't forget, transition US 18,000, so we've got a little while to go before we get close to that. Feet, landing lights off, 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 and leg lights which are now required off. There we go. Absolutely beautiful from the right side there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet, so you may turn on larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the duration of the flight and do not form a line near the lavatory. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. You will be required to pay a small fee if you wish to access it. We do offer complimentary in-flight TV thanks to our partners. Connect to the Wi-Fi and you'll be able to access our wide range of free live TV and paid movies library.
Cool, looking good. So, well, first, in terms of my seating on this trip, I'm in seat 27A, which is probably most accurate to be over what's behind the wing on the left-hand side. So, my view is kind of about here-ish today. I won't say custom viewpoints, I'll have my custom viewpoints as they are, but just to give you an idea of what I'm looking at right now. This is kind of my seat area. That's my seat back. Of course, in PMDG world, has seat back entertainment. In the real world, unfortunately, the answer is no. No seat back entertainment in American Airlines 738. Who does that? So yeah, right now, I'm looking out the window, passing through the clouds. There's that Teterboro down there. That's yeah, that's Teterboro down there. Yeah, his camera already. Bit of sunrise on the left, and a view of New York City itself, city centre, Manhattan, all down the down below right now. That's the departure. It's not far. That's my departure. That's the real life departure. So curves to the left. I think the real life flight goes a bit more north towards Yonkers, and therefore presumably as a waypoint they'd not use they wouldn't use Jawbar, they'd probably use Aero would go in reality. But hey ho, for a departure just plug together and off the map for 30 seconds, that ain't too bad. I think that's also the main parts of the turns done, so seatbelt signs can come off and passengers can now roam around the cabin. 27A, seats on my seat today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I am Joni Cruz today. Joni Cruz. Right, quick at the cabin. Any names I recognise, we can have a quick look through the cabin. Oh my gosh, it's Phil Mitchell from EastEnders. Phil Mitchell, welcome aboard. Jack Phillips, I recognise that name from somewhere else. There's a few names I already recognise straight off the top. Those I'm going to try and figure out later on. Anybody else? No one else just yet. I'll try that as a anime Jesus there. Yeah, I think that was about it. So a few straight up the top, but the rest of the cabin looking pretty standard with their names. No one really worth a shout about. Right. Nope. Nope. And no, nobody else. So it's just a few at the very top and have before later. But yeah, Phil Mitchell, so I showed there. He's the well, he's a hell of a character from the EastEnders. I don't even watch the show. Yes, so plans for today. Passing 18,000 feet, transition altitude, standard altimeter set. Plans for today. So I'm flying from here in LaGuardia to Charlotte, 6 in the morning. From Charlotte, I'm then going to wait about an hour and 20 minutes before transferring onto an American Eagle flight down to Lexington Bluegrass. Spend about 6 hours in Bluegrass, or 6 hours in Lexington itself. So I'll go down to, again, there's a very specific reason I'm going to Lexington, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Spend a bit of the day in there, then flight from Lexington down to Atlanta on a Delta Airlines 717, and then from Atlanta to New York in a Delta Airlines Boeing 752, which I'm very excited for. Now, I've been on the 71 already, that was with Volanta on the flights from Venice to Catania. Really good flight that, so I've got memories of it. But I thought, okay, I've done 717, I'll never fly it again. But then, when I was looking for the trip to Lexington, all of a sudden, a connection flight via Atlanta on a 75 popped up. I was like, okay, I know how this is going to work now. So it's originally going to be either today or yesterday with this trip. So I'll either go yesterday and spend the day in New York, or last day in New York, come back, spend the evening in the city, go sleep in tomorrow. Like I say, tomorrow I'm off to Washington. So Washington, so back to LaGuardia to Washington, and then Washington, day after, back home to the UK via Frankfurt. But this worked out just perfect for me. So, Drawyah, what could you possibly be doing in a small town in Kentucky that you've never heard of before? This one is actually quite a personal story to me. It's a funny one, but hey, worth the story. So, a little while ago, well, actually this is like pre-COVID time, me and my brother were on Google Maps, and we thought it'd be fun to just kind of zoom into like random places, especially central states, and have a look at some of the kind of like look at some of the businesses and pictures and photos. Of course, the US, in the eyes of the Europeans, is that this is just a crazy, crazy place full of crazy, crazy people. I do have some good American friends. They all accept that I do see them as madmen, but I'm sorry, America, that's just how we see you. And so yeah, so let's give an example. So let's go to somewhere in the outskirts of Nashville. There you go, Adams. It's like a restaurant or a shop over here. We've got Moss's. See what I mean? Like, you go in, you see what there is. It's very kind of a standard diner, is it? So let's say the Moss's. There you go. Actually, probably a good example. There you go. Let's have a look at Springfield, Illinois. Anything on the outskirts that we can have a go. Green Nissan. What's Green Nissan? It's just a Nissan shop. Nothing fancy. The boat dock. Seriously? Ooh, there you go. There's a receptionist. See, some of these, yeah, these photos are very American. There you go. Portillo's hot dogs. Let's look at Portillo's hot dogs. That seems alright, actually. Can't say much wrong about that. That's definitely a Photoshop image. I'm sure I've seen this image before. Bag of chips. That looks actually pretty good. Okay. Actually, I'll give them credit for that. That's a pretty good one. One day in Lexington, we came across. Where is it, Lexington? This place. You see, I've even pinned it. Called Ramsey's Diner. And we opened it up and came across that. And at the time, we saw it. We had no idea what it was. We had a little laugh, not gonna lie. I mean, I know what it is, it actually doesn't sound too bad, but we saw basically it's just a plate of cheese and a couple of strips of bacon stacked on top. And so me and my brother came to agreement and said, whoever goes to America first has to fly out to Lexington, has to go to Ramsey's Diner, and order whatever this is. I have since come to learn it's called a hot brown. It's a kind of, I wouldn't say traditional as such, but it's a local kind of favourite. It's a turkey sandwich covered in a cheese sauce with grated cheddar and bacon. It's called a hot brown. And to be fair, I'm quite excited to. I'm low-key. I'm high-key excited to actually go out there and try it because again, it's local American food in a diner in the middle of Kentucky. What more do you want? Yeah, so we saw that. We thought, okay, maybe worth a laugh, but for me, it's just going to be quite a fun experience. Going to get to fly out somewhere in America, go to another state, spend a bit of time out there. I'll tell the story to the people as well. I'm sure they'll have a good laugh out of it. But yeah, for us, it's just, yeah. I mean, some of the stuff doesn't look too bad. Okay, these are grilled tomatoes and mac and cheese and something. They've got those funny weather forecasting stands as well. I'm sure you've seen these on the internet. Yeah, there's another hot brown. Actually, I looked into the restaurant as well. They're quite high rated on Google, 4.6 stars, and their hot brown is actually one of the highest rated as well in the area. So it's a good thing to go for. And then I'll also have a look at what have I got down here. It's fine. Also, the airport itself, Bluegrass. There's also an aviation museum as well. So I'll definitely go spend time out in the aviation museum, presuming it's open. I'll put the Angels in position. Yeah, this looks fun. This looks really, really fun, so I'll definitely have a chance to go out and look at that. So the reason I go to Lexington is to try hot brown. To basically finish the agreement to have my brother, that one of us goes out there and do it. And also add a bonus of flying the 717-757, American Airlines flights, and also the Lexington Aviation Museum. Should be a pretty good trip. That's, again, if there's any Americans that are watching this and they're now disappointed that's how I view them, I'm sorry. It's just true. We Brits think you people are mental, and that's why we love you. It's like every other day on the news, it's Florida man's done this, Florida man done that. It's just the way it is, I'm afraid. So, flying into Charlotte. Charlotte's have a connection down to Lexington, Lexington to Atlanta, and then Atlanta back to New York JFK. So the 2 return flights will be done in FSX. Oh yes, I'm bringing it back. So I owned the TFDi design 717 for MSFS P3D. My P3D license has expired or some things gone wrong. I can't remember to just email, so I thought, okay, I'm going to bring back FSX. 2 more videos. The first leg, the 8717, is going to be a kind of proper flying from A to B, systems checks and everything done. The 757 flights, I'm going to make it a nostalgia video. So, the very first add-on aircraft I ever had in Flight Sim was the Just Flight 757-200 Freemium. If you're under the age of 12, you'll have probably no idea what that is. But Just Flights released a freeware 757, which, okay, again, we're talking about 2009 here, so this quality's a bit iffy to today's standards. But back in the day, that was my aeroplane. I flew that everywhere. And so I thought, I'm going to bring it back, make sure I know how everything works, read on the checklists and stuff. We're flying from Atlanta to New York JFK, an FSX on my OG add-on for Flight Sim. So I'm really excited for it. I hope you guys also enjoy it too. I'll talk about it. Oh, we'll definitely have a bit of an intro to that video as well, because of course, I'm sure you probably were like, why don't you buy the flight factor or the quality wings for FSX? But for me, I wanted something a bit different. And if I can have a nostalgia trip because of my original aircraft as well, why not? It's my channel. I want to have a bit of fun. And I also want to bring back bring a little story, kind of what Flight Sim was like back in my day. Back in my day, when all the runways were flat and the aeroplanes flew like a train on rails. So passing now through flight level 310, 1,000 feet. So far so good actually, timing. No complaints yet. So schedule's land, so it's now what, 10:18 Zulu. Looking at 11:18, so yeah, about an hour or so to expected arrival time. Actually a really good 10 hour and 10 minutes passenger side of things. That's very good timing. Sun slowly rising in the background. A very pretty sunrise I think today. I'm sitting on the left hand side, so I'll just get a very good view of that. If you're on Instagram, follow me on Instagram of course, I'm going to be very active on that, so much I've been to America, especially the flights I'm doing today. Stuff to be very excited for. What's that down below? Quite a big one I can see. That, my friends, is Philadelphia. In fact, we're going to fly right overhead of Washington Baltimore and also Washington Reagan, which is where I'm flying to tomorrow, in fact. So tomorrow, flying in a CRJ 550 United Airlines Express. Just back down here again, so I'm actually going to fly half this route again tomorrow. Exactly the same. I mean, I've spent 4 days total in New York, which is, for me, more than enough to kind of do what I need to do. Day trip to Boston. Day trip to Lexington. And then it's a day, so tomorrow, so I'm flying tomorrow afternoon, evening time. So I'll show another day in New York itself. I have most of the day to myself, so I think it's a 5 PM departure out of Newark. Let's have a check. I need to go to this one. It's a 6 PM departure out of Newark. So yeah, that's plenty of time. Oh no, it's 5 PM, sorry, ignore me. Just ignore me entirely. I land at 6:30 local. So 5 PM departure out of Newark, get to the airport for about 3 PM. So I've got most of tomorrow as well in New York City to do what I want to kind of do final wise. Booked shows for Come From Away and Beetlejuice. So those are two shows I really want to see as well. Both of those I presume I've now ticked off as well. Hopefully I got my Ubercopter flight, that's another thing I wanted, but I can never figure out how to book an Ubercopter because I just can't find it on the website. So hopefully I'll do it from the app when I get there. And worst case scenario, I'll just take an Uber to the helipad and just ask at the desk. As well as that, I also took the Amtrak train back from Boston. That was a couple of days ago now. The flight out with JetBlue. Hopefully get Premier some for that because the Embraer is an interesting aircraft to fly, and so I need to just kind of really learn the process of that again, of course. I've done an X-plane. We would have done Ellis Island and Statue of Liberty. Would have done the World Trade Center viewing deck. Of course, spend an evening in Times Square. That's another big thing to do. Spend a couple of hours in Central Park. All the stuff you kind of supposed to do when you go to New York, if you know what I mean. I'm not the biggest touristy person out there, but again, going to New York, you're going to have to do touristy things. There's no kind of getting out of that. But it should be a good day. It should be a good couple of days out there. 4.5 days out in total. Day trip to Boston, so that's more than doable. I won't see everything in Boston. Plenty of places I can definitely return to in the future trip. At least I can then say I've now been to Boston. But for now, first things first, let's get ourselves to Charlotte. In anticipation for me connecting flight this afternoon. Well, also this morning. Alright, welcome to cruising altitude, flight level 360. So quick look at the flight plan. As we're expecting, it's going to be an arrival runway 36 right on the Chelsea 5 arrival. Give me 2 seconds and try and figure everything out. Yeah, that's fine. Right, so start Chelsea 5 on arrival, that's fine. Approach shots 36 left. Pick that out. And then also have the taxi charts ready for that. Then you park them back. Let's have a look where this one pops. That was a nice train approach, that one. We'll go around the airport ourselves. So you stack yourselves over in the north terminal bit, kind of in that little parking bay. Cool, look how big that is compared to the others. These are all Embraers, are they? Yeah. American Eagle Embraers, and then you've got American 777. What is that? That's just a really weird image, that. It's like a cross between the 78 and 777. Interesting picture there. Right, I was going to do, yeah, so that's our parking stand, so we need to find ourselves a route heading to the very north of the airport, which is going to be this bit here, Concourse E. That, and where is it? AppInTheAir, there we go, pin that. So 36 left, bit of a taxi, Whiskey 7 trying to vacate in November, cross the runway, which is Echo. Can we get around that way? See if I can find. I see barriers, therefore there's construction whilst I'm at the airport. So would we actually need to go down via Victim Sierra and around? I don't know. Movement, non-movement, area boundary. Okay, no, it's fine. So yeah, onto Echo, cross Echo 17, and come follow the terminal around. So that's fine then, easy. Cool. So arrival, ILS 36 left. Chelsea 5, transition, coupon, Lilzet, yeah, New Yankee Hotel. That, back to the legs, no discontinuity, it should just set everything quite nicely. There's a flight plan, and zoom ourselves in. Step. Right around the airports, there'll be a vector into so ePay, get defaults. Throw it in there. At the very least, we'll allow the aircraft to calculate them completely without any input from me required. Right, back to map mode. You can zoom out again. you go to the runway, 36 left, grab that as a fix. Then we want a topper drop, so 36,000, 6, 12, 18, 108, 10 and 4. Head to our destination forecast, and then back over to the all important winds page and grab our winds for the cents. So top drop is 360 to 3021, 25.4 and 158.5. So 360, 200 and hundreds. 230.21, 5.4 and 58.5. Cool. Let's keep that. Tragedy energy flight 18,000 is fine. There's one more thing I need to do. That's at the frequencies. So perhaps 31.46 knots approach. Wind direction +5. Let's say 151. 110.15 at 3. 110.15. 110.15. And it was 3 degrees, nice and easy. Right. And then the last thing I need to do, back to the charts, back to the approach charts, and grab the chart localizer at 135.0. That's the VOR there, so 115.0. And then we can have the VOR 2 active for the remaining flights. Cool. Fully configured for the flights, fully configured for the approach. All we've got to do now is wait for top of descent. We've got the sun. Still getting there. Still getting there. That down below, that is going to be Baltimore now. And the airport, Baltimore should be somewhere in front of us. Negative visual. Runway, not our runway. Ah, there it is, I think. No, it's not. Maybe. Yeah, there you go. Washington, Baltimore, sorry. I'm just being blind. Yeah, apart from that, flight progress is pretty good. Can't complain about that. I'm just going to go pop to... Well, I grab tissue quickly because I need to blow my nose. Back in 30 seconds. Back in 30 seconds. I was going to... So if you're just joining us, this is a premiere, not a live stream. This is not live. So the one guy in chat's probably having a moan at everyone now saying, oh no, this is live. Trust me, dude, it's not. It's pre-recorded. A premiere of flights I'm flying in real life right now as a passenger from LaGuardia to Charlotte. So far, it's been pretty good, apart from, of course, GSX called me out at the very beginning. That's always a pain, but here's what it is. The video tomorrow, of course, tomorrow's video to from Newark to Washington. When I have GSX, I actually filmed that a couple of weeks ago before GSX came out, and it was a good video, so worth re-recording that. So it's a bit of a mixed period of where it will be used, won't be used. Watch this time. Tried to be used, but it just couldn't survive. Right, I'm back in a few moments. Right, welcome back. Let's have a look what we're doing. So we're just flying overhead Washington DC now. It's likely just behind us. So it continues to get a bit brighter. Should pop on the horizon relatively soon. Right, so it's now 10:37 Zulu. Top of drop is expected to be at 55. So looking at around about 15 odd minutes to top drop now. Got your pressure all configured and plugged in. Should be nice and simple. Well, nice simple approach for us. Everything's configured and being able to take care of most of the hard work for us. And now quickly gets what's it called? Unicom configured for the approach. It's runway 36 left. On the Chelsea 5 arrival, inbound from the northeast. Nice approach. And we also have a transition, which would be the intersection near the hotel. So that guides us down, or that guides us in. Around some different controls and different aircraft and control space at the moment. We're both on flight progress. The aircraft's now starting to appear in New York. My teeth are quite active as well. Apart from that, looking at pretty good. There's an aircraft Charlotte on the ground. Just arrived there. American 1990 from Tampa. Might not fly that actually. Should have me in the middle there. So we're heading to 03 as well, so just keep everything the same. Yeah, happy with that. Pretty good. As the sun gets higher and the outdoor lighting increases, hopefully for us, well, panels say the same brightness, I need to adjust any of that. Should be very close now. I'm looking at the reflections of the aircraft with light in the cockpit. There's that very slight flicker you can see on the side there. That tends to mean the sun is just peering over the horizon now. And just behind that cloud, so we'll see that in just a couple of moments. But we'll say it's a very, very pretty sunrise this morning. The aircraft 73 always doing a great job at increasing that. That's cockpit photo, I think. Got the Photoshop open, so just need to stick everything together. Yeah, definitely that one. So tonight, to finish this, spend a bit more time on FSX, hopefully get it to a point where I can actually record with it. If we can get time. It's not a particularly long flight, so it's 2 hours from Atlanta to JFK. We'll take a few. Try to get everything going from there. Also own GSX for FSX, so hopefully that'll be a bit more on my side. And then there's just one last FSX flight, 717. That's with Delta Airlines. That's going to take a bit of time. I need to relearn pretty much relearn from scratch 717. We've got them on Douglas recently. That's not too dissimilar. I should get all the procedure correct, because I know I've had in the past some difficulties with that aeroplane. It's not always been smooth sailing with me, I'm afraid. So hopefully it won't take us too long to get ourselves head around that. Also, frame rates. Everything works pretty much okay in the 757 side of things. For some reason, my Sim's frame rate on FSX is absolutely shot. And I can't for the life of me figure out why, because my system spec's not too bad. The problem with FSX is that it works best on single core systems with really, really beefy single core processors. That ain't so easy to do in this day and age. That was always FSX's problem as such. So hopefully one they can overcome as well. As the video's already recorded, I've already done the A319 toaster, I think it was, London to Frankfurt. Done the what do you call it? It's the CRJ flights. Newark to Newark to Washington National. 748. Where am I going to find 9 hours free on a dead regular stream? Actually record those. That's going to be the big one for me. I might have to sacrifice a streaming day for those, which I don't really want to do. I could sacrifice a Friday to at least get one of them done. And I guess that's the part, like, if I can't get both of them done, I'd love to at least try and get one way, which would be the outbound flights. Get one of those done, that'd be grand. So yeah, the lighting, beautiful. In the cockpit, not so, in the cabin, sorry, not so much you can see because of course Boeing mid lighting. There you go. There's the sun. There's your sun. I'm happy with those left-hand side seats. And as it stands, looking at the website, I've got the entire row to myself at this point in time. Maybe yeah, looking next to me. That, of course, I'll just change. I'm sure other people will eventually book New York Charlotte, the early morning flights. That's 10 minutes to descent. And so to Virginia. Very shortly into North Carolina. The shame I didn't get time to actually get out of the airport. So originally I was going to book a flight, the return leg at Atlanta with maybe 5 hours connection to actually spend a bit of time in the city. But when I saw the 757 connection, it was only once a day at the time with like I think it was like an hour and 5 minutes connection. I thought, okay, cut my losses, can't go see another city to fly an airplane I really want to fly on. So I guess this is one negative of this kind of trip, especially if I'm flying to a regional airport in the middle of nowhere. It's getting the times right for everything, which I'm going to really struggle with. Well, so I did struggle with the booking stuff. The pricing wasn't too bad. And this entire day with 4 flights cost me about maybe $350, $400. Which I guess for America ain't too bad. So I've got to remember, in this country, it's not as cheap as Europe. I can't fly. I guess I could look at Southwest or Spirit. 2 hours I won't be flying on this trip. I will do probably next. I'll go to America. We'll probably see some of the aircraft stando wherever I go, just to be like, oh look, there they are. I know that airline. I've seen them. It's happening in real life. But I'm finding the big carriers, of course, American, Delta, United. Okay, United Express may not count quite as a trip, although I did book my my flights through United.com as opposed to Lufthansa, because the Lufthansa return flight from Frankfurt to New York is about €1,200. The exact same flights from United was about $350, $400, so it was so much cheaper to book straight through United on a Lufthansa coach jet. And again, really annoyed that my A340 flight got cancelled, but it does mean that I get to go to New York slightly earlier on a 748, so I actually spent more time in New York, which I didn't expect. The negative is that the flight's so early, and I have to fly to Frankfurt the day before to actually then get that early morning flight. There's no early flights from London to Frankfurt that will give me enough time to make that connection. It's an 11 AM departure out of Frankfurt, landing at 3 p.m. local New York we land. Yeah, so Lufthansa flight 400, depart Frankfurt 11 a.m. Oh, sorry, we're over 1:30 in the afternoon, JFK, 13:35. So, I'll try and get a nap on the flight. Probably one with the Atlantic, not much to look at. Wake up. And just enjoy the rest of the flight. And hopefully, I guess, stay up as long as I can on that first day. And force myself to reset to the US sleep cycle. Because I've never done a long haul flight like this before. This is my very first time as well. I've been out of Europe to North Africa to Tunisia. I wouldn't really call that a real extended trip. This is my proper first long haul though. As I'm out into the States. So I am very, very excited for it. Supposed to have gone 2 years ago. Then COVID happened, and British Airways had to retire the 747 fleet, and I lost all out on that. They got my money back, of course. But I would have preferred to have gone to America without any problems. Right, so configuration wise, pretty good. Passenger satisfaction at 96%, so they're all happy at the back. Right, Marcus Williams and Jack Phillips. Where do I recognise these names from? Marcus Williams, he is. Yeah, so I don't think it's that Marcus Williams. So there's an NFL Marcus Williams who is a safety. He plays for Baltimore Ravens. And then you've also got Marcus Williams, a footballer, who is pretty actually well known for because he played for Reading. And actually had a couple of Premier League games as well. Correction, Championship games. And cups as well. Yeah, okay, so it's, it's probably going to be this guy, Marcus Williams, football, Marcus Williams. I'll recognise the name from. And then Jack Phillips. That's it, Jack Phillips. He was on the Titanic. He was the wireless operator that sent out the messages that said that they'd hit the iceberg and were sinking and needed help. That's where I know that one from. Yeah, no, there's no Phil Mitchell though. Phil Mitchell, welcome aboard. Cool, so, how's our circle in relative to the top drop? Top drop thing comes first, yes it does. So, in a couple of moments, we shall reset our MCP altitude to reflect our top drops out from around the corner. So then approximately, should just come up to 20 miles. Correct, up to 40 miles now. Get ourselves prepared for the approach and land. Sun's out definitely over the horizon. Cabin lights will definitely be dimmed for arrival. Won't be quite enough lights just yet for the lights just to stay on. Yeah, we'll give the passengers an update and then we'll look at our approach configuration once again. Right, upload down screenshots to good old Volanta, my go-to tool for screenshot uploading. Yeah, I absolutely love that feature of Volanta. It's my number one thing. Thank Orbex, thank Orbex for giving me access to premium. I just go crazy with screenshots and upload every single one of them. I'll pick my best 3, hope for the best. It's a handy tool, this. Highly recommended. Even the free version is pretty good. For your logbook and flight tracking. Some of these flights I do on stream, others I just mess around with roommates and take them off the list. Back in 2 seconds. Right, let's do, shall we? Speak to passengers one last time and get them their further updates for the arrival. So, grab the weather information at Charlotte. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and updates from the flight deck. We are shortly about to sent into Charlotte. We'll be landing in approximately 35 minutes. Got the weather for you. It's a nice and warm morning, 32 degrees centigrade, with a few clouds now being reported in the area. Eventually visibility about 10 miles at the moment. Shouldn't cause any problems for us though. We'll get ourselves in, hopefully on time, without too many delays. And yeah, once again, thank you for American Airlines, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your flights. Once again, landing in approximately 35 minutes. So if you need to use toilets, please do so now, as soon as you want to get them for landing. Thank you. Right, increase the MCP altitude to 7,000 feet. Good altitude for arrival. It's quite a high altitude airport as well. Well, relatively high altitude for Central America. There you go. That's not that's wrong way. Ignore me. Just ignore me. Right against the cabin. That's when Unicom our top drop. $750. Right, let's drop. Having for 55 minutes so far. Pretty good. Should actually be quite a well. We'll definitely land ahead of schedule. ETA is it's now 56. Landing at 22, so 26 minutes scheduled arrival time. Yeah, we're about 8 early. Should be fair, not surprised by, because we have had a headwind the entire flight. Only about 40 knots, not particularly bad headwinds, but certainly nice little headwinds today. Right, so start our descent. Just confirm, I think GSX is still broken because Kutul just decides it doesn't work anymore. We have to reset it because the front doors had a door assigned to it, which it shouldn't have done. Yeah, so one negative has to create custom profiles for GSX, so if you don't do it correctly, you muck up the entire flight. But yeah, I guess the basics, apart from passengers and float. Yeah. When GSX works, it's great, but it's just way too tedious. It really is. Back in days of FSX and P3D in FS 2004, it was the go-to add-on. We bought GSX. Well, it used to be Airport Enhancement Services by Aerosoft. That was the first ground service handling add-on, which everyone really enjoyed. And for me, for a little while, I actually preferred AES over GSX anyway. But AES, just development stopped for it, and everything kind of moved over to GSX. I bought that, fell in love, and used it through my streams towards the very end, I guess. Never bought level 2 though, so I never got the animated passengers on P3D, but that doesn't matter, because we do kind of have it on MSFS, just when it works, which is unfortunately common enough. Right, so passing now through flight 7310, 31,000 feet. Altimeter Charlotte 3005. Decision heights. Radio altimeter of 200. Easing to out to 844. Good morning, America. I can see the negative is that for Americans who probably want to see me fly in America, this is really early in the morning. For the rest of Europe, where I'm from, a lot of my viewers are from, this is just like a nice early morning stream for you. 10 AM, get yourselves to work, go and enjoy yourselves. Yeah, 6 AM local time in America right now. Well, 7 coming to. I can't 7, yeah, can't 7 AM in the morning, local time. good question. Also, is this Central Time or Eastern Time? Yeah, okay, Eastern Daylight, so yeah, we get plenty of time. Cool. So 20%. Cool, back here for the end of it. Last pass through 18,000, so standard altimeter, move over to local, 3005 set. Landing about 20 minutes or so. A little above the glide profile now, having set local altimeter, so the aircraft will reduce our rate and set for a short bit to catch up with that, and then continue going down from there. The weather in the sim looking stunning as always. SFS, you never go wrong with its scenery, that's for sure. Poor pardon me. Excuse me, I'm a bit too late there. So sorry. What a fantastic scenery, he says. Well, loudest freaking burp you'll ever hear. So sorry, so sorry. Oh boy, I've ruined it. Absolutely ruined it. At least the flight looks good. Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, so continue approach in. We should put another alert on Unicom, just about power traffic in the area that we are coming in from northeast, approaching well, using Mankegan Hotel as an intersection. Whereby any traffic need to be wary of, the answer is not particularly at the moment, no. And the inbound flight earlier on, they landed well, we got here. Now approaching 15,000. Let's try those speeds are down to 250 knots. Let's 270, shall we? Don't go down too much just yet. Plenty of time to go. Interesting note is also to increase our rate of descent to increase speed rather than use the throttles. I guess currently in descent it means the aircraft's going to try and minimise its fuel consumption, which should be fair. It's a more efficient way of doing things. About just under 4 tons on arrival, 3.8 set for expected for landing. So yeah, plenty of fuel, should be within the weight limits, nothing too much to worry about. We'll use braking level 2 sets. Not on the spoilers, don't think we're going to use much of that on the way down today. See what signs now come on. The passengers now slowly turn to their seats, prepare the cabin for landing.
Please return to your seat as the seatbelt sign is now on.
Passing through 13,000. Yeah, we're going to reduce down to 250 knots anyway in about 30 seconds, but at least it's set at the moment. Just slightly pissed our right. Well, ETA now is 11:15 Zulu, which is going to be local time 7:15. We'll set on team to gas as crow flies through. Straight on ahead to the airport. The speed I get there at that time. But to count the slight extended arrival path. Should be fair, isn't too much of an extended path anyway because the routing comes all the way around there from there anyway. 7,000, do we hold at 7,000 for a little bit? The answer is no. 2% all the way down to... Let's just go down to 2,500. Just double check on the chart quickly. Oh, normally, yeah, sorry, 2,500 is the GSX FlyLive. So yeah, 7,000 was the initial, actually for the glide path. So yeah, 2,500 is set, sorry. That's where we need to be. That makes far more sense. Cabin crew, 10 minutes landing, 10 minutes. So G speed 250 knots. Let the aircraft lead it off just by, well, reducing our rate of descent slightly. Still below the, yeah, so there's the marker. That's what we're following to get ourselves on the glide path or descent path. As long as we're within that region, should be okay. Cabin crew now did announcements to get everyone back to their seats. That's the airport right there.
Charlotte. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final
So good, nearly that.
Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket
Let's get
or
FlightControlReplay up and running.
Please complete all Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any larger electronics.
Get that ready for our short final approach. Cool, so now just passing 1,000 feet, 2250 knots. Aircraft holding a steady descent, slightly below the glide path, not too far off it, about 200 feet or so. There we go, 270 feet. Airport is in sight. We know we're landing. A few more turns, and we'll be into land. Our FMS again. Approach speed is still going to be 144 knots. That's why approach speed will be 148. Sorry, 149. Approach speed tonight. Check the average just in case I had to change from 7,000 to 2,500. Let's continue to any further, we'll see. You, 250 please. Yeah, it's going to be a very pretty flight. It's very good scenery and photos hopefully in the real world for Instagram. Again, if you're from Instagram, at Drawyah, links in the description. Keep it on the stories, that's where all the fun stuff's going to be. My trip to America this year. Actually, way below the whoops. Way below where we need to be right now. About 750 feet right now. It's good for us. We're in a really good position. Double check the final two airplanes on that leg, so D Fox and Nelson is also going to hit the glide path. It's also a relatively short glide path as well, 3 degrees down per standards, but only 6.6 miles. Passing 7,000. So this is on the right hand bank, so on the glide path reduced down to 200, and pretty much quickly after that down to 160. Make ourselves more seated comfortably to prepare ourselves for landing. Yep, throttle all good. So yeah, aiming at Charlotte's to exit the runway, or these vacates. Whiskey 7. Across the bridge onto November. November onto Echo, and go from there. I actually can't remember if I was using Charlotte or not. The mystery, we get there. I've got something fancy. If not, not the end of the world. Right down to 200 knots. And also, perhaps 5. Should now see our speed slowly decrease. That's the attitude, speed down all the way to approach 149. Continue the flaps and gear at steady steps all the way down. About 100 feet too high now, actually. I'm trying to increase our turn rate slightly just to give that a bit of a kicking. Down, that's 10. Okay, use wide as well just to really get that speed down. Cabin crew, seats for landing please, seats for landing.
2500.
Your localizer active, and approach mode active. That's 25. And flaps 30, cool, flaps set for landing. And spoilers, we can retract 160. Cool, rearm those for landing. Not bad that. Small adjustment has to be done, but nothing too excessive. Announce a new con that we're on. Establish runway 36 left. Let's bring it into land, I guess. Right, set the throttles manual, 1000, stable approach, this approach altitude set. Multiply deactivate my aeroplane. Slight crosswind from the rear. Nothing we can't particularly deal with.
Approaching minimums.
Minimums continue. Under throttle, spool up, or flare, sorry, spool up. Reverse is set. Knots, 80 knots, 6 knots thrusters idle, and vacate runway to the right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Charlotte Douglas. Slow this down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Charlotte. The local time is 7:22 a.m. and it's currently about 9 degrees Fahrenheit.
Scratch my monitor. From where? Wow, there's a small scratch on my monitor. I have no idea where that's come from. I'm not hit or anything. Really annoying. Really, really annoying. What came on to that? Spent a lot of money on this. Yeah, that's a scratch. It's damage. Oh, it's right on the centre as well. We'll be seeing that flipping neck. That's really annoying now. Okay, vacate the runway. That's that Unicom. Transponder off. Got the runway a little bit later than I planned, but not the end of the world for us. Reset brakes. Oh, welcome to Charlotte. So across onto Whiskey. That's Whiskey. I think that scenery's here. Yeah, it's going to be November. Okay, yeah. I don't think I need scenery Charlotte's, but oh no, November. Currently on Whiskey, it's in November. So actually, we may have something to enjoy to look at. Right, make the left, cross over, and then that terminal building is. Okay, I think that's pretty default. Okay. Oh well, not the end of the world. Increase throttles because it's quite a run up ahead of us. Flight director's off. APU start. And lights off. Taxi lights stay on. Quite a rough taxiway, that I must say. Woo! There's also a drop coming up. We are 320 737 suspension. We'll be able to handle that. There you go. Controls back. Look at us go. Whoop, bounce! This scenery's all over the place. Here it comes another dip. It flattens out a bit more as we get closer to the actual terminal and main part of the airport. But that extends runway 36 left, 01 right. Quite the route there on taxiway November. Oh, and I think this actually is fancy scenery. Look at the terminal building. Something's going up on the roof. Well, if it is, I'm not complaining. Right, so we cut across the runway. 36 centre, 18 centre. Sorry, do I want to say 01? So 18 right, 36 left. Make a right onto Echo. And we'll enter at Echo 17 into the main apron area. And yeah, no, turn a light. I think this actually has got some scenery here. I don't know if it's a freeware or one of the fancy hand-built airports. This is not default. Passenger session 92%. They're pretty happy. Landing results pretty smooth. It was minus 62, was it? So overall, nothing. Yeah, not bad. That I can't complain. It was a pretty good landing, pretty smooth flight. Had to catch up a little bit on the final glide slope and approach. Was spotted at speed, but only a small little action. Got us down to limitation without too many problems quite quickly. Let's see that up again on the throttles. Right, now left is Echo 17. So I can imagine in real life, this airport's quite pretty with all the aircraft that stand. When you're flying on a simulator server, no static airplanes at gates or little traffic in terms of ATC. Look at the VATSIM. VATSIM right now. Yeah, also going to be dead at Charlotte. There was ATC at New York, of course, but nothing in Charlotte, so this will be pretty dead on both networks at the moment. Oh well, it is what it is. Oop, done a little dip. On century suspension, don't let us down. Oof. Oof. Some of these airports need a bit of work, a bit of love. Actually, I think we'll have to kind of layer and scenery files. I know I had that issue with Stansted a little while ago on actually on the day this aircraft released the PMDG 738s, where the Stansted taxiways were all over the place. I got comments from someone saying like, hey Drawyah, move the scenery to the very bottom of your scenery index and it fixes everything. And it actually did. I don't know quite how the layering and priorities work on the scenery in file for MSFS. Because in FSX and PTD it's always whatever's top gets priority. Obviously in this case, it's whatever's at the bottom gets priority. That's a charm for me, so I don't know if it's like a limit to how many scenes you can get in one sim to keep everything running smooth. Obviously there is a limit because, well, it's just like dump taxiways and do become a thing. Which just can be a bit of a hassle, I must admit. Not game breaking, as long as the flight bit works it's fine. So it'd be nice to get the entire flights relatively steady. That's not still going. About 3 minutes away from that, so 25. It's about an hour and 25 flights on the start site. An hour and 25. We have got AP now, so it shows across the AP lead running. Nearly there. To make a whoops. Okay, I was supposed to actually need a turn there. Oh well, it always stands on this side. We can try and use. Be it nothing to the jet bridge because, of course, it stands for the Embraer 145. Oh well. Tell you what, we'll go around and use one of those jet bridge stands over there. Very, very naughty. Should have made that left, but we can correct ourselves with no traffic here at the moment. This one benefit if I had no aircraft at gates, we can just cut right through. Pick a gate, any gate. I'm with the right in the corner there. And with GSX down, we shall just use the default PMDG ground services, which should be fair. Probably the same. Well, they do the same job anyway. With jet bridge in place, not we're going to get much in the animated passage anyway. So Delta 10, we shall be our welcome stand. Pole position. Welcome brake set. And engines off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Charlotte's Douglas. Lexington time right now is approximately 31 minutes past 7. Temperature outside at 32 degrees centigrade. We thank you for flying with American. We hope you enjoyed flying with us on board today, and we hope to see us again in the very near future. Safe on the journey, cabin crew. This time, nozzle cross check, please. Thank you very much. Right, that goes to the back. Head to menu, loads, ground services. Set the chocks in place, request you, and can't do any of those because the engine shut down. Perfect. Right, we'll use the jet bridge. Can also request the rear stairs, I guess. That's pretty standard for this kind of operation. Jet move into position. Passengers 0, please. And then request. 0 and 0. Tax license come off. Campaign it's set and APU off. Shot move. What's wrong with the jet bridge? What static are you? I press the button, the guy moves his position. So you haven't worked over, no. Okay, fair enough. Jet bridge is on the move. I think GSX probably broke that in the process. Oh well, this is what it is. So we're going to have a screenshot. Oh boy, I think I have to use a GSX thing there. There we are, kind of last screenshot on arrival. Not the way I wanted it, but it'll have to do. Right, so start your planing. So you can see that sounds haven't turned off yet. Four plus just in position. As soon as you're in place, we'll start downloading through that. And let's start. We're just arriving. So everyone now disembarking. I'll take you to go. Don't forget, we've got the replay as well, so if you want to see the replay of our landing, feel free to stick out to the very end. We should have to take a look at just that. Cool, next our landing as well. That's their thing. Thank you very much. Right, so we're going to start off by entry flight on Volanta. That's looking good, read a flight. Overall, not bad, then rated my 68. I'll take that. Next we'll do is end our flights on PACX, so menu end flights, American 628, 738 from the Guardia to Charlotte, 119 flight time, departure 08, so we select time at the time of recording, 155 passengers, satisfaction 94%, and the rate 92, and about time 137. Overall, apart from the soft landing, nothing much really happened, and lots of regulations at work. Good on American. Last thing I'm going to do is it's from IVAO, thank you, well, quite there I guess. That's about it really. Finish on the replay, and let's move into the start. So, I'm going to set the ground, not services, return the empty type of load, set you up for the approach. Make sure the lighting matches that of the flights on. Down, down, off, off. Perhaps all the way down, after 1. Right, load a replay, and let's have a look at that from the passenger perspective, shall we? It's in about 5 seconds, and it should catch up with us. Okay, a bit too far. Right, let's do, shall we? Start view from the left-hand side, front of the engine. Park myself, so I'm going to block part of the view. Apart from that, let's say, for the most part, nice steady approach. Of course, sunrise still very much in effects there, looking very, very good indeed. So you're hand flying at the stage. Slight tailwind, but nothing too excessive. Small adjustments, puts the runway without too many problems, difficulties. Small adjustments to the throttle, keep it running steady. Here comes the flare and the idle, not a spool of course, like I said. And into land with a nice smooth landing. Do the same for the right hand sides. So behind the engine, of course, with that different sound. Also got the sun just behind the cloud over in the background. Yeah, it's really we took off in the pitch black as for the Guardia today. Sunrise, absolutely phenomenal. Again, it's just MSFS. The clouds, the clouds, the lighting, all just looks so good, so good. Control tower. Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I must admit, I had a little bit of difficulty keeping it steady on the rud there as well on the landing. Not quite sure, just kept pushing to the left a little more than I needed to. Bit of overcorrection. Nothing excessive, of course, still on the runway, and still pretty much on the centre line of it to the left of it. But yeah, definitely some overcorrecting there on my part, so I just need to, I guess, just calm down a little bit. So a view from behind the engines, behind the landing gear. Just a bit left of the runway when the approach, so of course I have to push to the right a little bit. There you go, slide back to the right. So skilled 737. Essentially just flying it into the runway. The idle on the flare, coming very, very late, just fly it into the runway. And just like that, kiss it onto the ground. That was spot on. You want a smooth landing, you get a smooth landing. Even says that wasn't too bad, like I say, just overcorrecting it a little too much to the left. That causes a slight drift, you can see right there. Gonna need to work on that. Definitely gonna need to work on that. So one last view, this time of the side of the runway at point to touchdown, so head over to drone cam, kick on the follow, increase the speed, and move over to the side, increasing altitude by a couple 100 feet. Short final in, nice and steady. I'd like to work on now since we've done the main replays. Yeah, as smooth as could be. Smooth as could be. There's two more bits of replay I want to do with this one. That is a passenger perspective of the bump we came across. Here we go. This is the first bump in the passenger's point of view. Here we go. There goes the dip. Keeps speed increase as well there. Aircraft running away from you. And then the second dip is the one that's going towards the main taxiway itself, which was that one somewhere over here. Where's that dip gone? It's going to the incorrect turn. Sure, was another dip. You remember there's a little dip, like just in front of the terminal building itself. That's where it comes. Like there's a fix you can make the scenery layers. Where's that one gone? Let's correct itself in the scenery. Oh no, there it is. Right, here we go. So now we're over at the dip. Just a random little channel that goes straight down. It's even next to the end of that tunnel window right there. Whoops. No engine strike though. That's always the important bit. So it's at the end of the runway, and then bring it to the end. So yeah, that was our flights from LaGuardia to Charlotte. I'm going to be here for about an hour and 20 minutes before moving on to my second flight, which is American Eagle flights from Charlotte to Lexington. That's number 145, which I'm quite excited for. Hopefully I'll be able to get XL up and running to get that one recorded. If not, okay, by this point you've seen what's been scheduled, what's not, so you'll see what I've managed to get myself going for, what I missed out on. But overall, very, very excited for this trip. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Do subscribe if you already. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you soon for another, well, I'll see you about now for another real flight, I guess. Take care, have a good one, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.